Long ago, 5 men set out from their own paths to achieve their own destinies. Now they are brothers, united under one cause. Alone they are strong, together they are unbreakable. They are bonded by metal.
Good
Recording started.
morning. My name is That 70s Rock Fan, or Brian, if you prefer. I am joined tonight by our dear friends, the Disciple of Rock. How are you, sir?
Oh, I am kicking, man. I am kicking.
Cool. And also our dear friend, LB Weaver. How are you, sir?
Hey, oh, I'm doing great tonight. Yeah, how
Good.
are you?
I'm awesome. I'm extremely awesome. I got my tickets for Sabaton on April 18th next year sorted out, so I will be seeing them. First time I've seen them on a full headlining show as opposed to support, so looking forward to that. And I'm no doubt they'll be playing many tracks from the reason we're here tonight to talk about their new album, Legends.
Yeah.
Their first sort of collection of individual hero stories since Heroes. 2014, I think. Is that right? Am I remembering right?
I think so. I'm not okay. As someone who loves Sabaton, I'm not familiar with their albums. I'm more just familiar with their songs because, like, their songs are so good that you forget that they're albums.
Indeed. So have you guys had a chance to listen to the album yet in detail? It's been out for a few days. Yes, cool.
Yeah, twice.
Good.
About 4 hours ago, I think it was.
Yeah, I've listened to it 3 or 4 times. I think it's a kind of album I think I'm going to need to listen to a few more times.
Yes.
To get to know it. And I think, to be fair, that's a very Sabaton experience for me. Other than some of the real best known songs, I feel their songs deserve a little bit more attention and instant grabbers. That just could be me, of course. And I think this one is in that category. It's very much a Sabaton album, though.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very new to Sabaton because I got a text. It was on a group text, with Big Bad Wolf and Creedence Gold 13 and Charles, or the Disciple of Rock, rather. And, so it said something about Sabaton. So I wrote back, I was being cheeky. I wrote back, okay, is this a new band that I'm going to be, researching on YouTube Music and checking out? And somebody wrote back, yes, and falling in love with.
Yeah, that's Sabaton.
Great power metal. And that's my first reaction to this album, which I think is their 11th studio album. It was kind of, this is very much a Sabaton album. You're not going to hear, there's nothing truly different or groundbreaking on it. It's exactly what you would expect from Sabaton. Exceptionally well produced as well. First, that's what to say I didn't like it, but that was my first impression. Was probably not going to win over too many new fans, although, as we've heard, LB is now a new fan because of this album. So that's good.
Because they whichever album that I had on when I was told I was going to fall in love with them, I just switched on. Okay, Sabaton. Okay, good. Being I'm still very much a Sabaton neophyte. So,
well, it's good to get that perspective. And so you've listened to Legends. I don't know how much chance you've had to go back and listen to their previous material.
Just the one time,
because there's a lot of epic tracks there. But Legends, it's 11 tracks. It's on a new label, which for them, Better Noise Music. I think they've even got some Better Noise Music bandmates. Another fellow label mate, Nothing More, appear on Crossing the Rubicon. I have to say that vocally I couldn't hear them, although they're supposed to be in the back vocals.
I think it's a remix. There's a remix version because I think the album version and the remix version were different from what I remember. Now I could be wrong on that.
Okay, no, you could be right because I'm listening to the album version. I thought I can't hear any additional vocals, and the vocals on from Nothing More. I mean, I'm not a big Nothing More fan. It's kind of new metal for me, but I think you would be able to probably distinguish them on a track. So I didn't hear them on the album version. But it's interesting once again the level of detail the guys have gone to in the history. So each track is a separate hero, or indeed villain.
Yeah, I was going to. That's what I was wondering. Is it a concept album? Because it just goes from like one scene. I thought of it as like an audio film. Like one scene after another. And
no, they're only concept albums. Carlo is Carlos Rex, I think.
Well, I'd probably say though that you've got to consider The War to End All Wars was a concept album, really, or a thematically linked album if you look at it from a First World War perspective.
Yeah.
So the Great War, The War to End All Wars. I think their albums tend to be theme related. This one is more, it's not one single conflict they're tackling or set of conflicts. It's back to the thing they did with Heroes, which is individual situations. So you've got a song about the Templars, you've got the Hordes of Khan about Genghis Khan, crossing the Rubicon, the famous Julius Caesar, point of no return, of course. Emperor, Napoleon Bonaparte. So, and my possibly my favorite on the album track, 7th track, Impaler.
Yeah,
about Vlad.
That was a good one. Yeah, I did enjoy Impaler. So,
Impaler. I mean, it's really dark. It's got some gritty riffs. And I think Vlad is a guy who should be celebrated for what he did in resisting turning back the Ottoman Empire, as opposed to just a few silly putting people on spikes things,
One thing I noticed with this album, a lot of times Sabaton has just like these fast, soaring kind of like tracks. These were slow and trudging. You know what I mean? It's a lot slower for a lot of stuff they've done.
So Lightning at the Gates, for instance, would be more mid-tempo, almost. I actually wrote down when I was talking about it, whilst it's got a great melody, it's a little bit mid-paced, takes a while to get going. You could almost class Impaler as a slow track, though.
Yeah.
Ballad. It's almost a ballad about Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, so what was everyone's all right, so let's do, since there's 11 tracks, let's pick 3 tracks each. What were your top 3?
I think for me, Impaler, The Duelist, which is the I'd probably pick, let's say Duelist would be top, I think. Now I'm thinking about it more, and I do have to listen to more. Duelist would probably be top, but and forgive my pronunciation, Miramoto Musashi. It's honoring him, sort of 17th century Japanese swordsman. I mean, I've been reading up on the I read it. It's just a great thing about Sabaton to make you read. so that track I think is probably my favorite. I mean, it's got some really great guitar licks in it, which are meant to represent the duels he's fighting. So some really sharp guitar on that one. Impaler probably would be another of my 3 favorites, although I noticed some reviewers weren't too keen on it. And I think if I was to pick a third one, I probably would be Lightning at the Gates at the moment.
Ooh, okay.
Which again, a lot of people didn't like because it's a little bit slower, mid-tempoed, but I really love the melody on that one. It's probably one of the more melodic ones. So that would be my 3 until I listen to the album 15 times, then I'll change. But what about you, Disciple?
Yeah, so I'm going to start off. I did not like Lightning at the Gates, nor did I like Templars or A Tiger Among Dragons. Those are like the first times I heard Sabaton songs, and I'm like, I can't even like this song. So I'm just going to put that out there. But
great. No, that's
let's not focus on the negative and focus on the positives, because it's Sabaton and it still is great. I'm going to go with you. The Duelist is my favorite song on the album, and I think that's going to go down as like a classic Sabaton song that they're going to be singing 5 years from now. They'll be pulling that song out a lot. I do think for me, like my second song, I really liked I Emperor. Love that. Yeah. And I really liked Made of Steel.
Yeah, Made of Steel's one of the faster tracks on the album as well. I mean, that's that one kind of thunders along.
Yeah, and I think for me, that's what I expect out of Sabaton, right? Yeah. Like I think of things like, if we want to talk about some like examples of what I'm talking about, songs like Stormtroopers, Fielder Verdun, or 82nd All the Way, like. You think of things like that when they have slower things, right? You have things like the Bismarck that are obviously really good too. But for me, a lot of the slower tracks in this kind of just, it feels like it repeats a lot of what they've done in the past. Some of the slower stuff.
That was something I was kind of alluding to at the beginning, was I feel this is very much a Sabaton album. I mean, you can tell instantly it's Sabaton. They're not breaking any new ground, I have to say.
Well, which is fine.
Which is okay. Which is fine. But that's why I think I'm backing up what you're saying there. There's parts of it that are very much, well, perhaps we've heard this before.
Yeah, and like because what bothered me about Lightning at the Gates is they start playing "You Are My Sunshine" in the middle of it, or it sounds like it. That just threw me off.
I mean, perhaps there was a Hello Kitty guitar involved with that. Who knows?
If they're going to do that live, okay, then it's funny, and that would change my perspective on it. But when I'm listening to it on an album and I don't have any visual thing to go off of just by what I'm listening to, it's not floating me.
No, well, that's great. But diverse opinions are something that we welcome in our area of the internet. Others may not. We welcome those. So you said The Disciple. You liked I Emperor?
Yes.
And what was the third one you mentioned as your?
Made of Steel. Made of Steel.
Made of Steel. Yeah.
Words of Khan is up there too.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's great. Now, LB, you've only had a chance to be introduced to the band recently. What stood out for you track wise? 2 or 3 tracks that stood out for you?
Let's see. Let me. Well, they some of them stood out. Yeah, just let me look at the titles for a second, because, like I said, it's very, very new to me. And please, don't mind the background noise. I get somebody watching television. Templars. That was a very strong opening, I thought. Yeah, because it's like these people's mission was already set in place, and there's okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then let's see, I Emperor was one that really stood out at me, and let's see, what was I'm looking at the list on YouTube Music, so don't mind my amateur standing on this. Made of Steel. Crossing the Rubicon, I enjoyed quite a bit. Because I think
I am
because I love the musicianship. I think that they're just really crack musicians, and the vocals and all that. It's a very solid album. From my one hearing, and then because I just played it all the way through, and I think I don't know, I may be sounding like a heretic here, and it's no joke. I joke around a lot, but it's really no joke with this. Like with Kiss, Music of the Elder, I have a feeling, it's like this gave me the impression that this might have been the version of Music from the Elder that Kiss really wanted to do, but then it ended up just being what it was 45 years ago.
That's an interesting perspective. Long before Sabaton were formed.
Yeah, before they were
another
born,
man
probably.
Been trying to reach for that same formula.
And Sabaton really succeeded.
Maiden had some of this formula, because there's Maiden-esque moments on this album. I felt Iron Maiden-esque moments here and there. But for me, like what's the Egyptian ones? The Cycle of Songs.
That was good. That was really good.
It's a good track. Probably one of the most proggish things on there, and it felt Maiden-esque in places to me. That's not a bad thing. It just that's how I got that feeling from a couple of places in the album.
Now, am I the only one that noticed it? It's very disco-y, this album.
Well, there's a lot of electronic stuff lurking in the background. In fact, even in the foreground, occasionally you hear certain electronic sounds, a little bit more electronic rhythm sounds than I anticipated.
That was LB talks about how he liked Templars. That was my issue. That was my gripe with Templars. Like, if you took out the electric guitars, I could see a guy with, bell-bottom pants, a long V-neck disco shirt and an afro dancing to that song.
There's a little bit of that and a little bit of keyboard prog going on in places, but there's still a lot of power metal that we know and love. I mean, it's a core. That's Sabaton's core strength, isn't it? I mean, the power metal stuff, and it is there.
And, I gotta ask, where do you think this stands up with the other albums?
I want to be fair and say I want to listen to it quite a bit more because I've only listened to it 3 or 4 times. One of those was in the car, so you don't get the full impression. And I'm certainly wanting to see some of these tracks live because I'm thinking that some of them will really come to the forefront live. As good songs should. But at the moment, I'd say it's probably in the middle of the pack. It's not at the top. It's not the best Sabaton or even the second best or third best Sabaton album I've heard yet. It's core Sabaton. So it's not as immediate as some of the others.
Yeah. I think for me, like, I'm just going to give it an out of 10 and then kind of tell you where I think it is. I'm going to give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I think it was solid.
Yeah.
And I think like most Sabaton to me, like, I don't really to me, every Sabaton album could just be a compilation for all I care. There's specific songs that I like to go to, right? I think that's how most people view Sabaton. So like, The Duelist is absolutely a song I'm going to be going back to a lot.
Yeah, I think 10 out of 10 from that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah, for absolutely. And I think Hordes of the Khan is going to be one that people are going to pull out a lot too, because that is a killer track, even though it's probably my 4th favorite. But
I think it's going to bear repeated listening. I think it's an album that's actually going to grow over time as opposed to one that will grab you straight away. It's not a weak album. I was going to go for more of a 7 out of 10 area for me so far. I just don't. I don't think it's quite as immediate as some of the material we've loved in the past. But I gotta put it. It's Sabaton. It's a Sabaton album. There's no doubting that.
All you're looking for is just. You talk about saying Sabaton live, right? I've always said this. There's no Sabaton set list that you're going to walk away being disappointed.
No,
right?
Absolutely not. No.
So when you have songs like The Duelist, The Impaler, I Emperor, and things like Made of Steel, it's just added more songs. That's like, oh my gosh, I don't care what they sing. I just want to see Sabaton tonight.
Yeah, and The Duelist, I think we're agreeing is a standout, which could have been wouldn't have been out of place on anywhere in Sabaton's oeuvre. As they say. So I think it's not a revolution or even much of an evolution. It's just more Sabaton, which is fine.
And it's understandable if you're on a new label too.
Yeah, they're on a new label. I mean, the production's fantastic and the musicianship is still brilliant. Joachim's vocals are still outstanding.
The guitar playing is just brilliant.
Guitar playing. There's some moments I always think with the twin guitar stuff you're getting. Sometimes I keep thinking Thin Lizzy, but
Oh yeah, I loved a lot of the guitar riffs I've heard on this. I absolutely love them.
Yeah, there's some great little interplay.
And the I don't know if it was the engineering or the mastering or something like that, but I just the musicianship.
Well, it's peak.
Yeah,
Peak
I mean the musicianship is just yeah. You take a lot of these bands because I'm into also into like the Dead Kennedys and the Plasmatics and a lot of these old punk bands from the '80s, and it's like the lyrics could be ridiculous, the singing could be not exactly top notch, but it's fun. Like Jello Biafra, Wendy O. Williams, and the rest. But the music, it's like if it's a really catchy riff, if you really love that riff, and that's one thing about Sabaton so far that I really love is
there's a
that
lot of great riffs,
tons of them, yeah. And I was even tempted to ask, it's like, are they a Christian rock band?
No,
no, they're just very focused on history.
Oh,
okay. That includes Christian history, of course, because they're very into that part of European history. So.
Yeah, it's like because oh God, the Jersey of the Lord.
No, the songs are stories. They're telling stories in the songs. Yeah, and we're going to have to wrap it up and maybe keep this to 25 minutes, and we're getting close to that now. But I just forgot to say I love the drumming in A Tiger Among Dragons.
Oh, the drumming! Jesus
the drumming
Christ!
In A Tiger Amongst Dragons was outstanding.
Yes.
I do miss. I mean, I know the guitars are great on this album. I do miss Tommy Johansson, though, who left the band recently. I did miss him, and his backing vocals and guitar playing are great. But no disrespect to the current lineup. But I miss Tommy.
Real quick on A Tiger Among Dragons, I cannot stand the way the melody vocals go. It's just kind of like. I can't explain. It just feels like it drags me on. But like you said,
drumming is the key part of that.
I cannot stand it when there's a song that I can't stand, but there's something about the song that I love, and it's like one specific part, but I hate everything else that goes with it. That describes that song for me.
So, final thoughts, gentlemen, before we close. In 2 sentences.
I'll allow our guest to go first.
Yeah.
Oh,
LB.
Okay. Again, I'm very impressed with this band. I'd like to hear, play this album a few more times and hear more stuff from Sabaton because they're getting into my bloodstream and I'm getting more curious and I'd love to hear more about them. And this first go round I had with Legends is it made a good impression on me. I'd like to hear more of it, and especially the first few tracks and that opener. Yeah, I even made notes of this. What is it? Let me read this. I put it on Post-it notes here as it was going on. It's a very strong opening, very prog rockish. I mean, I know not a lot of metal fans like prog rock very much, but it just
I don't know about that. But.
It just seemed, like a really heavy prog album. And that's where I got the notion that this could have been Kiss's Music from the Elder if they really, went for it.
They were before their time then. And the world was waiting for Sabaton.
Yeah, because it's like Kiss didn't really do it quite right, but Sabaton, I think, did.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, LB. And Disciple. Just final thoughts.
I'm going to agree with you. It's going to need some more listens to, which, is a problem for me because I don't listen to Sabaton's albums. I listen to their songs. So, for me, The Duelist, again, I'm going to just praise that till the day I die. The Duelist, that's enough said. Good Sabaton album. It's Sabaton. Great. Go listen to it.
Yeah. And I'd back that up and say this is, if you're a big fan of Sabaton, you won't be disappointed. If you're a new fan, there's some stuff here that will get you in, and you can go back and check out the rest of the catalogue. For me, I thought it was a solid Sabaton album, but one that I think may require multiple listens to get into deeply. And I'd love to hear some of these tracks live. I'm looking forward to that. So, but I'll always take more Sabaton anytime. Yes. So this was great. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And please leave your comments below the video and leave a like and share this video out and subscribe to Bonded by Metal for more great content.
And thank you, Disciple, for inviting me along with this. I enjoy it. I like the album very much, and I had a good time here tonight.
Good. Until we see you all in the next one, live hard and stay free.
Yeah.